Welcome everybody to the second video in our multi-video series.
I'm Annabelle.
Who are you?
Abigail. Watch it.
And who are you?
I'm Abigail.
Alright.
Watching this video.
This is going to be fun, I promise. Walt Disney World is fun with or without children. I think it's a lot more fun with children, as long as they're well behaved. What we're going to do in this second video here is we're going to take and talk about everything as it relates to the Walt Disney World resorts. So the overview for the video is we're going to take and talk about the different resort categories, which are value, resorts, moderate, deluxe. There is deluxe villas, campgrounds, and the cabins. And then also briefly take and talk about the 2 hotels that are in construction. So as it stands right now, there are 5 value resorts. There's 4 moderate resorts. There's 8 deluxe resorts, 11 deluxe villas, or Disney Vacation Clubs, 1 campground and cabin. Did you drop something? We'll also talk about for each one of the resorts, I'm going to give you the name, the location, the theming of that resort, how many rooms there are, the room types, when it opened, pricing, food options, pool, activities, and transportation options. So a lot of stuff for each one of the resorts. I have a page for each resort.
I like.
And then I'm going to just kind of give you some categories as it relates to like standard resort activities, which include arcades, gift shops, pool parties, movie under the stars. There's jogging trails on each one of the resort properties, as well as a playground. So those are the things that are standard, and then I'll add some of the additional activities that exist. For moderate resorts and deluxe resorts, they do have an additional activity, which is a campfire every night, weather permitting. That includes free marshmallows, but you have to pay for the chocolate and the graham crackers if you want to add those. Alright, so the first resort we're going to take and talk about is the All-Star Sports Resort. All-Star Sports is one of 3 All-Star resorts. You have sports, you have music, and you have movies. The location is in the Animal Kingdom area. Theming for that resort includes the sports themes, obviously. Touchdown, which is football. Center Court, Hoops Hotel, both of those are basketball. I think there's also foosball included there. You have the Home Run Hotel, which is baseball themed, and then you have Surf's Up. So the entire resort complex is as relates to sports. There are 1,920 rooms. Your room types are going to be double beds, and it does sleep 4 individuals. Anybody under the age of 3 does not get counted for occupancy. That's just how our family is. So if you have a larger family, you have to look at getting 2 rooms. They do have some adjoining rooms, and your room sizes are approximately 260 square feet. It did open in 1994, and your pricing starts per night at $97. Your food options for this value resort is going to be quick service, and they call it the End Zone Food Court. And then there's also room service, which is the same food for all the different All-Star resorts. Your pools, you do have 2 pools there. You have the Surfboard Bay Pool, and then also the Grand Slam Pool, which is really kind of a smaller pool. It's just in a different end of the resort, and it allows you to be able to have 2 different options for pools. It does include your standard resort activities, which we already briefly talked about those, and then your transportation from this resort to the parks are only the buses. Your resort bus queues are uncovered. I will tell you they are the farthest away from all of the parks as it relates to the queues from the entrances, but that's your transportation option. So the second resort that we're going to take and talk about is All Stars Music. It is in the Animal Kingdom area, and the theming is going to be music. There are 1,604 rooms, and this resort does have some different resort or room types. So you have your 2 double beds, which sleeps 4 adults, and then there's also family suites, and there's going to be 192 of those that does sleep 6 individuals. The cool thing about the family suite is it does have a little kitchenette with a microwave, 2 bathrooms, a queen bed, a sofa double bed, and then 2 single beds, which are basically ottomans that open up into beds. Your standard rooms are going to be 260 square feet, with your family suites being about 520 square feet. It did open in 1994 as well, and your prices starting for the double beds are going to be $97 for a night, and then $350 for the family suite. Food options, it's called the Intermission Food Court, and then room service. There are 2 pools available, standard resort activities, and then the same bus transportation as All Stars Sports. Buses to and from the parks. Resort queues are the farthest ones away, and they are uncovered. All right, the third All-Star resort is going to be All Stars Movies. Again, an Animal Kingdom area, and the movies that are themed there is 101 Dalmatians, Toy Story, Fantasia 2000s, Mighty Ducks, and then Herbie the Love Bug. There are 1,920 rooms. It's 2 double beds, again, sleeping 4 adults. However, Disney just released some information as of yesterday that they are in the process of doing some renovations to all of the All-Star resorts, very similar to what they just recently did with Pop Century as it relates to a queen bed and then another bed that takes and folds down from a table that they'll have in the room. So basically, they're going to update the room. They're going to kind of get rid of some of the old decor, and they're going to take and update that. Reservations start now through the end of this year. This All-Stars Resort opened in 1999. Again, pricing is $97 a night. Starting, your food options is a world premiere food court, same room service. You have 2 pools plus a splash pad that are there. Your standard resort activities, standard resort transportation. All right, girls, this is the one you guys have stayed at. Pop Century.
Yay. We love Pop Century.
So Pop Century is going to be near ESPN Worldwide Sports, which is a sporting complex on Walt Disney World property. The theming are the 1950s through the 1990s, and it includes bowling, discos, yo-yos, Rubik's Cube, computer, and there are 2,880 rooms. Your rooms include 2 double beds, 2 queen beds, a king bed, and your rooms are typically 260 square feet. It did open in 2003. Prices are just slightly higher at $112 a night, and it is the same quick service type dining options. There is room service, and they just did recently release that they were going to be offering Dole Whips there. The pools include the Hippy Dippy Pool, which you guys went to the Hippy Dippy Pool, didn't you? What'd you guys do there? You swam, right?
Yeah.
What was the pool that we swam at the most at Pop Century?
It was the bowling pin one.
The bowling pin one, which is going to be in the 1950s area. And then we did go look at the computer pool in the 1990s. But what do you guys remember from a theming that was there?
The computer floor.
Yeah, it had the keyboard. Name. Yeah, you guys ran and you got to spell your name. The next resort, that's the last one in the value resort category, is going to be Art of Animation. Again, near ESPN Worldwide Sports. Your theming is going to be Little Mermaid, Lion King, Finding Nemo, and Cars. The cool thing about the lobby is it's called Animation Hall, and it starts from black and white when you first walk in all the way through the spectrum of color as you get down to the end. Section did we stay at Art of Animation?
It was Cars.
It was Cars. What were some of the cars? You guys remember who you were able to see?
Lightning the clean room.
And you saw Tomater.
Yeah, in the pool had traffic cones.
Yes, it was the Cozy Cone Motel. Yeah, the pool is like a big half circle, and it was a quiet little pool. Art of Animation actually has 3 different pools. They have the Cars area pools. There is the Finding Nemo pool, which actually plays music underwater. Little Mermaid area.
Yeah.
So your room types in the Little Mermaid section are going to be your typical standard value rooms, 2 double beds, they sleep 4. Lion King, Finding Nemo, and Cars are actually all family suites, and those sleep 6. There is a bedroom that has a queen bed, a dresser, a TV, a couple nightstands, and a bathroom with a shower. And then you have a full bed that, basically it's the table that converts into a full bed, and then there's a pull-out couch, a little kitchen, and then, of course, like I said, there's 2 full bathrooms. So your Little Mermaid rooms are slightly larger than the other value resorts, 277 square feet, and then the suites are 565 square feet. This is the newest resort that's currently open on property. It did open in 2012. And your value resort rooms in Little Mermaid are $130 a night. Your family suites are anywhere between $315 and $330. So your food options are quick service as well as room service. Again, we already talked about the pools. Your standard room activity, resort activities, plus there is bike rental available. It is connected to Pop Century through Generation Gap Bridge, which goes through Hourglass Lake. And they are adding gondola service that takes you from Art of Animation and Pop Century. They're actually building a station that kind of resembles a big wave. It takes you to Hollywood Studios, Epcot, Caribbean Beach, and I think Resort Riviera, and maybe there's another resort there that it connects you through. Right now, as it stands, though, the bus transportation options are only available to you at Art of Animation, and they are the farthest queues at all of the resort or at all of the parks to get back to the resort. But the buses run about every 20 minutes, so it's not a huge deal. All right, so that covers the value resort. So All-Star Sports, music, movies, Pop Century, and Art of Animation. Do you wash your hands? Thank you. So Caribbean Beach is going to be in the Epcot area. It is Caribbean themed, and right now, as it stands, the room theming that they have is Martinique, Jamaica, Aruba, and Trinidad, north and south. There are 2,112 rooms that are available. The room types include king beds. You have the regular room, which is going to be 2 queen beds, and then it also does have a fold-down single bed, so it's like a small couch that folds into a single bed, and it does allow you to sleep 5. Or they also have pirate-themed rooms, which does sleep 4. It did open in 1988, however, they've done some room renovations there, and it doesn't really feel really necessarily all that old. It is a moderate resort, and right now the prices are very economical, so if you want the value of being able to stay at a moderate resort at the value price, this is definitely recommended. Your moderate resort is $166 a night up to $235. Now, food options right now at this resort only include a food tent, which is going to be a quick service buffet, and then there's also 2 food trucks on property, one that's there for lunch and dinner, and then one that is there only for breakfast. But after construction, there's going to be a restaurant called Shutters, which was there originally. It's a table service. And then Old Point Royale quick service, which is basically going to be a bunch of quick service options for you in kind of a closed-in area. Now, there are multiple pools there. You have the main pool that has 2 water slides, which we were just talking about.
I like the water slide where you have to walk up the stairs and go up thing, and then when it goes red, you can't go. When you go green, it goes down. It gets dark when you get to the end. It's really fun. So
all of the moderates have slides available, and Disney has lifeguards at all of them. However, Disney actually has came up with a really ingenious idea as it relates to the slides. So instead of having to place a lifeguard at the top of the slide, they have a light system that measures motion. And so the light is red when somebody's on the slide, and then when they're in the immediate water area of the slide, and then it changes green when you can go down.
You go!
So there's 2 slides that are there available to you. There's also a children's play area that you got to play in a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah. I got to sit down in the pool that I got to play.
And then there's 2 hot tubs. There's some cannons that shoot water out over top of the pool.
And then, like, right by the hot tubs, there's, like, 2 chairs. I went to the pool. Dad could see me. I could see him. I just swimmed around like that. And I went back in the hot tub.
Yeah, you swim around there. What's cool about Disney is that they do have life jackets all the way from Allie size all the way up to Annabelle size. So if they're not quite 100% comfortable being able to swim by themselves yet, they do have life jackets available, so you don't have to worry about taking and bringing them. There's also leisure pools in each one of the resort areas, and we did spend some time in the Jamaica pool. So your activities at Caribbean Beach are really your standard resort activities. There is a gift shop truck that's there right now. They do have character beach and pool parties. Because of the construction that they have, they do bring Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Pluto, Donald, Daisy.
Yeah, they were dancing there at the pool.
You remember the questions that were asked of us?
Oh, yeah, I remember those. They asked, like...
There were different trivia questions. So the people that were in the pool...
I answered about maybe 4, maybe 3.
they have different activities that are going on there. They also have like beach parties where they have individuals that will come there and they play like the steel drums like you're in the Caribbean area. They do have cornhole.
Remember?
And you were hula hooping too. Also yoga available for a charge. There's bike rentals available. They do have the Pirate Adventure Cruise, which is between $40 and $50 per child, and they allow you to go out on a pirate pontoon boat around the lake area, and there's different activities and such that go along with it. And then you can also take and rent fishing poles if you're interested in fishing, but it's kind of catch and release. Transportation right now are going to be buses only. Each resort area has a shared bus stop for all the parks. Currently, 6 bus stops inside the resort. So the downside to this resort with the way the bus stops work is that we were in the Jamaica stop. So we were the second to last stop before you go to the parks. But that means that you're the second to last stop of getting off of the bus when you're coming back from the parks. And I would almost take and rather be like the first stop to get on and be the first stop to take and get off after a very, very long day. Everyone's tired or they're all sleeping. Because the downside to the Jamaica bus stop, at least for right now, was that we had to really kind of move around for all the people that were getting off, and you stopped and all your children are sleeping and they're tired, and they're much quieter than they are right now when they're on that bus. But again, the Skyliner is going to be opening to be determined. They're thinking maybe by the end of this year, beginning of next year, so you can take and ride a gondola system. It's a enclosed, air-conditioned, heated gondola system to Hollywood Studios, Epcot, as well as some of the other resorts. All right, so guys, the next resort is going to be Coronado Springs and Convention Center. It is in the Animal Kingdom area. It's actually right next door to All-Star Resorts. The theming is blend of colonial Mexico and American Southwest. There are 1,008 rooms, and your room types are going to be your standard rooms, 2 queen beds, 314 square feet, 1 king or a junior suite, which does sleep 6, and then you have your executive suite that does sleep 8. It did open in 1997. The pricing is quite a bit of a range here, between $179 to $1,085. There are 2 table service restaurants. There are 2 quick service restaurants. There is a huge pool with a 123-foot water slide. Can you imagine a 123-foot water slide?
Can we go on it next year?
Maybe the next time we go there. It's huge. Plus, there's 3 leisure pools. So you have the standard resort activities, plus there's volleyball and the Surrey bike rentals. And then your transportation options are going to be your buses. It does have an internal bus system, just like Caribbean Beach does. And the number of stops are slightly reduced from 6 to 4 there. So there's 4 internal bus stops. All right. So the next resort we're going to take and talk about is Port Orleans French Quarter. It's in the Disney Springs area. It does have New Orleans Bourbon Street theming. What, baby? Did you? Let me see. Are you all better now? Okay. It opened in 1991, and your standard rooms are going to be 2 queen beds or a king bed. Pricing is $199 to $226 a night, depending on what rooms you are. Again, during your value season are the cheaper options, so really your prices start at that. It does only have 1 quick service restaurant food court area called the Saskagula Floatworks and Food Factory. And then there's the Scat Cats Club and Bar. All right, guys, so again, Port Orleans French Quarter, Disney Springs area, New Orleans Bourbon Street, 1,008 rooms. It is a very close-knit, very small resort. I like it because all the resort rooms are really, really close to the center court or the area, the pool. There's only 1 pool that's there. It is called the Balloon Lagoon Pool. It does have a 51-foot sea serpent slide. There's also a child's water park play area. And then the cool thing about this resort, along with Riverside, is you can share each other's pools. Your activities here are going to be your standard resort activities. There's cornhole, there's yoga. There's also the beignet run, which is a pay service. There are Surrey bike rentals, fishing, and then there's horse-drawn carriage rides that are available around the resort, both at the French Quarter as well as Riverside, with your prices starting at $55 for that. Currently, as it stands, there are buses to all the parks, and then you can also take and do a bus or a boat down the Disney Springs area, or down to Disney Springs and then back to your resort. The next Port Orleans resort is going to be Port Orleans Riverside. It is in the Disney Springs area. It is kind of themed to the New Orleans Garden District. Again, 1,008 rooms. But these rooms are going to be slightly different than what's available at French Quarter. You have the 2 queen beds plus a single pull-down bed, which is really kind of like a couch that does fold down into like an infant-sized bed. You have a king bed room, which is around 314 square feet, or they have the royal guest room, which sleeps 4, but it has fireworks in the headboard. It's actually fiber optic lights that shine through the headboard and makes it look like little fireworks. This resort did open in 1992, and the pricing is starting at $200 a night to $252, depending on your room type. Your food options here, you have the Riverside Mill Food Court, which is going to be quick service with lots of different options. You also have Boat Rights Dining Hall, which is a table service restaurant for dinner only. And then you have the River Roost Bar, which is where Yeehaw Bob presents and does entertainment Wednesday through Saturday. Definitely a kind of a cool piano type bar, type feel, type theme with Yeehaw Bob. Go ahead and take a look it up on YouTube. You'll see some different videos of him there. You also have a big pool, big water park area. I think it's themed as kind of like the old Louisiana type barrel, big old bucket that broke down, and there's a big children's play area. And I've actually been told that this pool is probably the best pool on resort property as it relates to a moderate resort, that is. Your activities include your standard resort activities, cornhole, yoga, bike rentals, fishing, horse-drawn characters, then of course Yeehaw Bob. Same transportation as Port Orleans French Quarter, which is going to be your buses to all the parks and to Disney Springs, and you can also take and ride a boat to Disney Springs. Abby, what do you have there, babe?
A banshee.
And what's the banshee's name?
Raspberry Flower Buttermint.
You want to show everybody how the banshee works and what the banshee does?
So, this is how you make it. Shake its head. And watch it. This is to open up and shut its mouth. And the last one.
Oh, makes the wings move.
And it makes sound when you open the mouth.
going to be the Wilderness Lodge, and also the Boulder Ridge DVC Villas and the Copper Creek Villas and Cabins, which is also a Disney Vacation Club hotel. So it's in the Magic Kingdom area, and it's themed based upon early 1900 America's Great Northwest. There are 729 rooms, 2 standard queen bed rooms. You also have bunk beds, which look like 3 queen beds. And then you also have a deluxe room. And this is a resort that does have what you call club level, which is like a concierge type level. Boulder Ridge Villas, there's a studio, there's a 1-bedroom, and there's a 2-bedroom that sleeps anywhere between 5 and 8. And your prices for those rooms are $409 to $926 a night. Your Copper Creek Villas and Cabins, studio, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and the cabin. The cabin sleeps that's 8. Your 3-bedroom sleeps 12, 2-bedroom sleeps 8, 1-bedroom sleeps 4, and the studio obviously sleeps 4. Your prices per night starting $431 to $2,010.
In 2000.
Yeah, 2010. Your prices for your regular Wilderness Lodge rooms are going to be $325 to $691. Now, we have been in this resort before. Remember, it's the one that has the really, really, really tall fireplace? And what's in that big, really, really tall fireplace? Remember you guys got to throw the money into the wishing well that they had in there with Grandma?
That one. I was like, what resort are you talking about?
So do you remember?
Yeah. You have to find a hidden Mickey.
So there's a hidden Mickey.
And the stone walls.
Yep. And how tall is that thing?
About 6
It's 6 stories tall. I could be wrong on that, but it's pretty tall. It's pretty tall. Yes, it does have the largest Christmas tree in the resorts during the Christmas season.
I remember that now. I remember the Christmas tree. Like the star was like on the 3rd level.
No, it was higher than that.
Like the 4th floor.
Yeah, it was pretty tall. It was pretty tall.
It was this high.
It was that high. I think it was a little higher than that. All right, so your food options here at the Wilderness Lodge include the Roaring Fork, which is a quick service. You have Whispering Canyon Cafe, Geyser Point Bar and Grill, and then there's Artist Point, which is a table service option for you. The pools, there is a Copper Creek Spring Pools with a 67-foot water slide. There's multiple whirlpools, children's play area. Your activities here are going to be your standard resort activities. They also have fishing, bike rental, motorized boat rentals that you can ride on Bay Lake, and they're anywhere between 32 and 45 per half an hour, depending on exactly what you're getting and how many people you need to have. Transportation options include buses to all of the parks in Disney Springs and really all of the different hubs. But then you can also take and do a boat. Boats transport between the Contemporary, the Wilderness Lodge, as well as Fort Wilderness Campground. Animal Kingdom Lodge, it's located near Animal Kingdom. What's really cool about this resort is it does have over 200 live animals that are roving over 5 different savannas. So if you wanted to take and have a room that's looking over top of the savannah, you can see giraffes or gazelles or impalas or different things going through the savannah there.
We saw those before.
We did. We went there before. So there's 1,307 rooms available there in the main Animal Kingdom Lodge itself. So you have your standard 2 queen beds. There's bunk beds. There's a Savannah View club level. There's 1-bedroom suites and 2-bedroom suites. So the max you can take and sleep in the Animal Kingdom Lodge is going to be 8. Then you also have the Jamba House Villas and then the Kidani Village Villas. And there's studios, bedroom, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and they sleep up to 9 there. Your prices in the Animal Kingdom Lodge are going to be ranging between $336 and $1,576 a night. And then in the villas are going to be between $326 all the way up to $995. Your food options, there is a quick service. You also have 2 table service restaurants, one that's available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then one that's available for dinner only. There's also the Boma Buffet, which is African cuisine for breakfast and dinner. And then there's also a couple wine bars and pool bars that are available. Now, there are 2 pools that are there on property. You have the Springs Pool, which has a 67-foot water slide, and then you also have another pool that has a 128-foot water slide, and there's 3 children's play areas there as well. Your standard resort activities exist, and then there's also the Simba's Clubhouse, which is a pay service. Basically, it's like a daycare for your children. Transportation here are buses only to all of the parks. And so we went to this with Grandma and Papa back in September of a couple years ago. Remember, we got to sit down at the very, very bottom, and we got to, remember you guys made the bracelets, I think, with the beads?
Oh, yeah. Those are necklaces. We have a picture of them. You can go grab it.
Yeah, so they were necklaces. Oh, you're okay. But they were necklaces, right, that we made. And it was pretty cool. There's also a suspension bridge that goes across from one side of the Animal Kingdom Lodge to the other, which was a kind of cool thing to crawl across. So if you're afraid of heights, definitely don't take and do that. All right, guys, so the next resort we're going to take and talk about in the deluxe resort category is Saratoga Springs and Treehouse Villas. It is also a Disney Vacation Club. It is in the Disney Springs area, and it's themed based around like horse racing, Saratoga Springs, New York. I hope that was you drinking and not a fart. Is that a fart? Oh, okay. All right. So you have 1,320 rooms available to you, and the room types are going to be a studio, a one-bedroom villa, two-bedroom villa, and then the treehouse villas. And it sleeps anywhere between 4 and 9 individuals. Opened in 2004, and your pricing is anywhere between $341 and $829. There are 2 quick-service restaurants, 1 dinner-only table service restaurant, a couple of pool bars, and then there's room service available. Your pools include the High Rock Spring Pool, which is a 128-foot water slide, and then you have the Paddock Pool, which is a 146-foot water slide. There's a children's play and mini slide area, and then there's also 3 leisure pools on this resort property. Again, standard resort activities. You also have yoga. There's a community hall. Now, the community hall, what that is basically a room that has games, movies, and then equipment that you can check out for like tennis or basketball in this case, and then you just check it back in. So that's one of the benefits that you have of being able to take and stay at a Disney Vacation Club resort. Your activities also include bike rentals, Surrey bike rentals, fishing, golf, tennis, basketball, and you're actually overlooking the Disney Springs resort complex or Disney Springs complex, which is kind of a cool view if you're at that resort. Buses to all the parks, and then also you have a boat that goes to Disney Springs. The next resort is going to be Old Key West, and I'll add some pictures here of when Teresa and I were there in January. It's in the Disney Springs area, and it's set to early 1900s Key West. There's only 761 rooms here, so it's quite a small resort, and your room types are going to be a studio all the way up to a 2-bedroom villa. Yep, go ahead and show them.
Right here on the cup. It's like the bottom one.
Abby, back up, babe.
Old Key West.
This resort opened in 2004, and your prices range between $345 a night and $668 a night. There is 1 quick service option available, and then there's Olivia's, which is a restaurant that offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's table service. There's also a pool bar, and then there's room service available to you. The pool, they do have 3 leisure pools, which are kind of the smaller ones. They really don't have a lot of slides or children's play area. But the Sandcastle pool is a really cool pool. It has a 125-foot water slide. There's children play pools and mini slides, and there's also a sauna there. So that's where your mom and I were hanging out in the hammocks when we were there. under the palm trees. Yeah, we had the hammocks. I'll show you guys. I'll upload a couple pictures here and show everybody. So your activities include standard resort activities. There's yoga, community hall, bike rentals, Surrey bike rentals, fishing, golf, tennis, basketball, volleyball, and then, of course, the hammocks. Transportation options include buses to all the parks as well as a river boat to Disney Springs. The next 2 resorts we're going to take and talk about are actually one resort in itself, but they separate them into 2. It's called the Beach and Yacht Club Resort. So you have the Beach Club and then you have the Yacht Club. They both have villas as well. They are located really kind of smack dab between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Maybe a little bit closer to Epcot than Hollywood Studios, but they're in between those 2 parks. And the Beach Club is 19th century Newport theming, and then the Yacht Club is going to be Rhode Island, kind of East Coast. There are 1,013 rooms between the 2 resorts, so they're both about 600 each. And your rooms include standard 2-queen rooms with like a day bed. You also have the studio. You have a 1-bedroom suite. You have club level there, which is like a concierge level. It did open in 1990, and your prices range anywhere between $392 a night all the way up to $1651 a night. There are 2 quick service options. You have Beaches and Cream, which is a table service and ice cream shop. It does have the Mickey's sink available to you, or Mickey's kitchen sink. So go ahead and take a look that up on YouTube. It's a huge bowl of ice cream. It's like 5 or 6 different flavors. It's piled this tall, and they have lights that flash when you order it. We haven't done that yet, but let me tell you, I've been told it sounds tasty, doesn't it?
Really tasty.
You also have Martha's Vineyard, which is going to be seafood. The Cruise Cup Lounge is also seafood. Those are both going to be table service options for you. You have the Cape May Cafe, which does do character dining buffet for breakfast, which is Minnie's Beach Bash Breakfast. You also have signature dining there, which is the Yachtman Steakhouse, and then there's a couple bars as well as room service. Now, this pool, I would say, is probably the coolest pool on all of Walt Disney World property, simply because of the fact that it has a lazy river. So it's Stormalong Bay. It has sandy beaches. So what they actually do is they have sand on the bottom of the pool as well as sand throughout the outside of it. There's a huge long water slide. I don't even know how long it is. You actually have to go across a walk path in order to take and get into the slide on the other side, and then you slide over top of that walk path all the way through the pool area, and then you take and come out into the lazy river. There's a children's play area, plus there's 3 leisure pools on that resort complex. You have the standard resort activities, yoga, sandcastle club, which is another a children's daycare in essence, a Surrey bike rentals, fishing, golf, tennis, volleyball, hammocks, and motorized boat rentals. Excuse me, your transportation options are going to be shared buses between the resorts, so this is where the beach and yacht club both share the same busing system. And then you also have boats to Epcot through the International Gateway entrance and Hollywood Studios. The boardwalk. We spent a lot of time at the boardwalk.
I got ice cream.
Yes.
And there was a show. So the boy so Mom had her phone. A boy put it in a balloon and Mom got it out. Like, Mom could still see, but it was like in there for about an hour. So the boy was gonna throw it in the water. He was like, and he got it.
And we are live. Welcome to the Boardwalk Resort. My name is Cardeni, and this one belongs to Teresa. Everybody say hi, Teresa. And everybody else, man, we got a packed house tonight, don't we? All right, this is a memory for you using your phone, a balloon, and magic. I know, this is exciting stuff, right? You guys can come closer, it's okay. I can see you on the camera, it's okay, come closer. All right, Chris, you ready? Yeah. All right, check this out. Yeah. Don't you wish you were closer now? Oh, look, it's still recording now, Teresa. The phone works while it's in the balloon. If I hit the red button now, video.
So the Boardwalk Inn is another DVC club. It's in the Epcot Hollywood Studios area. It's 1920s Atlantic City feel, kind of like Mackinac Island, except you don't smell the horse poop when you get off the boat. But you still smell the fudge, you still smell the fun bakery, you know, the ice cream is still really, really yummy. There's 908 rooms. What?
At nighttime, it lights up. So cool.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in just a second.
And the street performers.
We'll talk about that here in just a second. So your rooms are going to be standard 2 queens and a day bed, which sleeps 5, and then you have kind of your club level, which again is concierge, sleeps 6. Studio villa sleeps 5. 1-bedroom villa sleeps 4, and then your 2-bedroom villa sleeps 9. Did open in 1996, and your prices are anywhere between $429 and $897 a night. There are lots of different food options available. So your quick service options include a to-go food cart, which is going to be your typical hot dog, hamburgers, french fries, your theme park type food. There's also a pizza window, pool bars. You also have Ample Hill Creamery, which has homemade, all natural ice cream, absolutely amazing. The Boardwalk Bakery has sweets and sandwiches. And then your table service options are going to be the ESPN Club, as well as the Big River Grill and Brewing Works. There's signature dining there, which is the Flying Fish. And then there is character dining buffet for breakfast, which is with Tangled, Flynn Rider, Ariel, and their prince. And I'm not even going to try to announce, but it's an Italian place. There are 3 pools total. Your main pool is going to be called the Luna Park Pool with a 200-foot water slide, and it looks like a old wooden roller coaster for the theme of the water slide. There's also a kiddie pool area, and then again those 2 leisure pools. Now, as Annabelle was alluding to, there are street performers. So every night from I believe 7 until midnight, there are street performers that come out, and they do different magic shows. They do different things, and they kind of come out to different parts of the boardwalk. So go ahead and take and talk about some of those street performers.
So there was one street performer that had I don't remember.
Did you get to watch the one with the blocks where he was kind of doing?
Yeah, that. And then when he was walking, the block was like he had the hoop thing, and then he had a block like right here, and he was going like this and flipping the blocks. And when he walked, we saw and everyone laughed.
He was connected to him. What about the basketball thing? Do you remember the basketball?
Yeah. So there was a boy that was throwing a horn, and everyone got to do it. I got to throw one.
And did you make it into the hoop?
Yeah. Mom didn't make it.
No, she didn't, did she?
She had to go twice. Oh, he called like 2 kids up. He called 2 kids up, and he had like a magical cloth, 2 magical cloths. He put it in a boy's hand, and then he went to the girl, and then it came out of her pony.
He pulled it out of her hair.
And there was this one street performer that was gonna bite his tongue with a mouse trap.
Oh yeah.
And then the big rat trap.
Yeah, but he didn't, did he?
Nope, it was a fake time.
So your transportation options at the boardwalk include being able to walk to Hollywood Studios and or Epcot. And in fact, Epcot's entrance is called the International Gateway entrance, which allows you to enter in through the World Showcase. You enter in between the UK and the France Pavilion. So if you want to get into the World Showcase, that's the way to get in. They also have boats that go between the Epcot entrance, the boardwalk, the beach and yacht club, the Swan and Dolphin resorts, which we're not going to talk about here, but they are on Disney property, but they're not technically Disney resorts. You can book them through Disney's website. But I haven't stayed there, really haven't spent much time, so I'm not going to talk about those resorts. And then also Hollywood Studios. So again, if you wanted to walk there, you're more than welcome. It's about a 15-minute walk to each of them, or you can take and ride the boats. Now, the last 3 resorts are going to be in the Magic Kingdom area. The first one is going to be the Contemporary Resort. This opened in 1971, does have 655 rooms, and it's contemporary or modular in its design. It's the iconic pyramid-type resort that has the monorail that runs through the middle of it.
Oh, Dad, that.
Yeah, that one.
We went on the monorail. Dad, there wasn't enough room, and Dad couldn't fit in it.
Oh, well, thanks. That makes me
Dad
sound...
and Allison. So we went with Grandma.
I had a stroller.
Yeah. So we went with Grandma back to the resort. Then we just got our basic decided to swim. And then Dad and Allie came back about an hour later.
Nah, it wasn't that long.
They had to take
We
bus.
met you at the Polynesian. You guys didn't go back and go swimming. We met you at the Polynesian.
That was the other day.
Yeah, that was a different time. All right, so this resort also does have what they call Bay Lake Towers, which is a Disney Vacation Club tower that is there. So your standard rooms inside of the Contemporary include standard queen with a day bed, sleeps 5. The hospitality suite sleeps 7. 1-bedroom suite sleeps 6, and then the 2-bedroom suite sleeps 8. Your prices for those are anywhere between $4,000 all the way up to about $1,500 a night. And then you have the Bay Lake Studio, which sleeps 4. 1-bedroom villa sleeps 5. 2-bedroom villa sleeps 9. And those prices all the way up to $2,089 a night. This is the Contemporary right here, if you want to show them that one.
Right there.
Good job. So your food options, you have the Contempo Cafe, which is going to be quick service. You have the Wave of American Flavors, which is a table service restaurant. You have Chef Mickey's, which is character dining. Right now, Chef Mickey's is under renovation. However, I believe in the next couple months it should be back open again. It's kind of like 1990s type flashy feel.
I like the Mickey waffles there.
We had dinner there. You didn't have breakfast there. At Chef Mickey's? You're probably thinking of Tusker House.
I like any kind of Disney waffle.
Any kind of Disney, yeah.
Mickey waffles.
They are very
the
good.
Best waffles ever.
All right. So Chef Mickey's is under renovation right now, but what's cool about it is you're kind of in the open, huge lobby area. You have the monorail that's buzzing over top of your head, and then you have Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Pluto that are all in chef outfits or chef uniforms, and they kind of do their character dining thing there.
Yeah.
Also, your signature dining at this resort will be the California Grill, which is atop the Contemporary internal inside, and you're overlooking Magic Kingdom resort area. There's also a couple bars and room service. The Contemporary pool is called the Feature Pool, hot tubs, children's play areas, and the Bay Lake, the Cove pool has a 148-foot slide, and then a children's splash pad. Activities are going to be your standard resort activities. There's also community hall because it is a DVC. There's fishing, bike rental, motorized boat rentals, etc. Your transportation options include buses to all the parks, boat to Magic Kingdom, and also the monorail. The next resort we're going to take and talk about is the Polynesian Village and Bungalows. This is also a DVC club, Magic Kingdom area. Island Paradise is the theming. Number of rooms is 492 with a standard room of sleeping 5. Club level and a 1-bedroom suite both sleep 4. Studio Villa sleeps 5. And the Bungalow, which is actually a hut that is built over top of the water overlooking the Magic Kingdom, sleeps 8. It did open in 1971, so that was another resort that was open during the opening year of Walt Disney World. I will tell you that these rooms here are the most expensive rooms on Walt Disney World property, starting at $475 a night, all the way up to that bungalow of being $2,382 a night. Now, I will tell you, over Christmas, right now in 2018, as it stands, the room rate for that per night is $4,085. Very, very, very expensive. However, you pay for the experience. Your food options include Captain Cook's Quick Service, which is I'd say probably Teresa's favorite quick service restaurant, or at least quick service options, where they have pulled pork nachos. I see her giving me the look. You also have Kona Cafe, which is a table service restaurant that does have Tonga toast, which is basically banana stuffed sourdough French toast. You have Ohana, which is a character breakfast and then table service for dinner.
Yeah.
And talk about Ohana. Who's there?
So when you're waiting, you get to take a picture of Stitch. Allie does not like any of the characters except the Disney princesses and Mickey.
So who did we get to see in there? So we saw
So,
Stitch.
Yeah, and then Leo comes to the table.
Lilo came around.
And then Pluto. And then, before...
I know there was Mickey.
Yeah.
Was there Pluto there? I don't remember if it was
There
Pluto.
was Pluto.
It was Pluto?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, it wasn't Goofy, it was Pluto.
It was Pluto? Okay.
And then, kids got to shake maracas and walk around.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yep. They also have flame spinners and flamethrowers there for the Spirit of Aloha dinner show. You have Dole Whips available through the Pineapple Lanani, and I said that wrong. Trader Sam's Bar is the one where they have the very expensive drinks. It's like $25 if you want to be able to take and get a souvenir cup like a skull head with some type of a drink in there. You can also take and get an adult version of the Dole Whip float, which I think has lots and lots of vodka, and then the pineapple ice cream there. You also have room service, and then there's the Tomba Lounge Bar, and there's a couple pool bars. The lava pool is going to be your main pool that has a 142-foot water slide. The Splash Zone, hot tubs, the Oasis Pool is your leisure pool. Standard resort activities there. They also have the Lilo's Playhouse, which is available from 4:30 p.m. to midnight, and the prices there, it's kind of like a daycare again. $55 per child, ages 3 to 12, and I believe they have to be potty trained. Fishing, bike rental, volleyball, motorized boat rentals, $32 to $45 per half an hour. Transportation options, buses, boat, and monorail. Last resort in the Magic Kingdom area, directly in the monorail loop, is going to be the Grand Floridian and the DVC Villas. It's kind of Victorian themed. There's 867 rooms. Your standard room sleep 5, all the way up to the 2-bedroom villa sleeping 9. It did open in 1988. Pricing is between $574 and $2047. You have a couple different quick service options. They do have character dining there. It's a buffet for both breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 1900 Park Fare is the name of that. And then there's also Princess Tea that you can get at the Garden View Tea Room. There's various bars as well as room service. Your pools is called the Beach Pool. 180-foot water slide. There's a kiddie area and a courtyard pool, leisure pool. You have standard resort activities, and then you also have the extra DVC type stuff that's included. Buses to all the parks, boat to Magic Kingdom, and the monorail. And the boat that takes you from Magic Kingdom to the to the Grand Floridian also takes you to the Polynesian. So it actually goes from Magic Kingdom to the Grand Floridian, then from Grand Floridian to Polynesian, Polynesian back to Magic Kingdom. Now, the last option that Disney has, which is probably the most economical option, is going to be Fort Wilderness Campgrounds, and then they also have cabins there. It is located in what they call the Magic Kingdom area, but is the farthest resort out, and the theming is camping. It's wilderness camping. They are 800 campsites and 409 cabins. So your site types are going to be a tent or pop-up, which accommodate 1 pop-up and 2 tents, and accommodates up to 10 people. It does have electric and water supply. Your next campsite is going to be your full hookup, which includes the same electric and water supply, but it also includes sewer drain and also cable TV. which that includes 1 RV and 1 tent, up to 10 people. And then the cabins, which are kind of like a moderate resort in essence, they sleep 6, and that has all the amenities. Basically, it's like a single wide trailer that they have themed to cabins. The cool thing about in the campgrounds or in the campsites or near the campsites are going to be your comfort stations, which are basically shower and bathrooms. So if you have a pop-up or a tent and you don't obviously have those facilities, the comfort stations allow for that. I will tell you, one of the downsides of staying at the campground is they do charge for ice. So if you have to purchase ice, they actually charge you for that. All the other resorts, you just go to the ice machine, you take and get the ice, and you're good to go. But here you actually have to pay for ice, and I think it's like $5 a bucket full or something. It's kind of expensive. Your pricing, though, however, is very economical, starting at $53 for your tent or pop-up site, all the way up to $91 for your preferred full hookup sites, and then your cabins start at $324 a night. Food options here, you have the P&J Southern Takeout, which is a quick service, so you can get like fried chicken or pizza or basically kind of like wilderness type campfire food type thing. You have the Chuck Wagon, which is very similar to like the to-go cart at the boardwalk, which is going to be your typical hamburger, french fries, whatever. You have Trails End Restaurant, which is going to be a table service restaurant, and then there's 2 different shows that they have at the campground. You have the longest running show called the Hoop-Dee-Doo Musical Review, which is the dinner show. It does take 2 table service credits, so if you're on the dining plan, keep that in mind. If you're paying, what's that?
I said I heard that before. People on stage dance and
yeah,
sing.
we watched it on YouTube.
Yeah, I really want to go to one.
There's 3 different options for pricing for that, and then there's also the Mickey's Backyard Barbecue, which is going to be burgers and hot dogs and brats, and it's all the Mickey characters, and they're dressed out in kind of southern type outfits. We did that back in 2011. You were 3 when we did that one.
I don't remember stuff. I just remember stuff from 2017 and 2018.
And 2016. You remembered some of this stuff.
Yeah, but we're going on the cruise ship next year. I can't wait.
Maybe. Your pools. Oh, so Disney, if you're watching, if you want us to do a video on the cruise ship, give me a call because I can help you guys out on that. All right, so your pools. It's a metal swimming pool. It has a 67-foot water slide. So the cool thing is it's a campground. It does have a water slide available. There is a children's play area with some miniature water slides. And then there's also a leisure pool, and then there's a whirlpool spa. So you kind of get the benefits of a moderate resort in a campground, which is very economical. You do have the typical standard resort activities, but there's also the Chip and Dale's Campfire Sing-Along.
I like that one. There was a boy, and there was like kids that were playing.
You guys were playing cornhole.
Yeah, and we like throwing. Like when he throw, we took them away.
So there's a campfire there that you can roast s'mores.
And you see Chip and Dale, and then guess what? Then there's a big screen that show Timon and Pumbaa.
That one just was showing Lion King.
Yeah.
They were showing the Timon and Pumbaa safety things, and then I think they were playing Lion King. So the Chip and Dale Sing-Along Campfire, it's basically free. It's the only place where you can see characters without having to sit down and do a character dining or go in one of the parks. A bag of marshmallows with sticks, a couple chocolate bars, and a package of graham crackers for like $10. So if you're staying there, definitely take and get your groceries and do the s'mores before that. Hang on a second. There's also fishing, bike rental, there's archery. They have the Tri-Circle D Ranch, which just had pony rides, as well as the Main Street horses that go through Main Street USA at Magic Kingdom. Those Clydesdale horses are available to look at. There's wagon rides you have to pay for. You can also do a golf cart rental on property. It's $60 a day for a 4-seater. If you're driving down, maybe you're towing a camper, you can go ahead and take and rent off campus or off site. Golf carts, I think they do up to 6 passengers there. You have basketball, volleyball, canoe, and kayak rentals. There's horse-drawn carriages, and then motorized boat rentals of $32 to $45 per half an hour. And then your transportation options are going to be buses to all the parks, and then also a boat to Magic Kingdom. So what do you want to say?
So you can get Mickey straws there.
Mickey what?
Mickey straws.
Mickey straws. You can get Mickey straws in any one of the things. They're like 69 cents. So if you want a straw that kind of comes up and
like
circles around
at
in
Caribbean
Mickey.
Beach, like before you go into the restaurant, you get Mickey straws too.
Yep. So with that, guys, thank you all very much for hanging out here for the video. Oh, Teresa, look at that. Mom saved the day. Oh, come over here, babe.
Mickey straws, see? That's mine.
That is your look at that. Mom saved the day. So
Wait.
69 cents for a Mickey
Mom
straw.
saved
That's
the
probably the
day.
most economical option of it. So with that, guys, you got to kind of see my crazy family that we have here for this video. Go ahead and take and like and subscribe down over here. Oh, wait. I think it's way over there, down there. Yeah, you're kind of like looking down, aren't you? You're just seeing carpet, but I'm going to overlay it over top of YouTube, and there's a spot down there where you can subscribe or like the video. Go ahead and take and share the video with your friends, with the next video being themed on how to get to Walt Disney World. And the video number 4 is going to be about, what do we want to talk about? Oh, dining options, dining plan, give you a little bit more detail.